Proud to be alive. If you can't do that,
it's not something that you can just make up about yourself. You have to be able to show that you are as strong as you say you are. Especially if you're competing in strongman.
Not 6'9" Mustang.
All right, here we go. We're back in the studio. A big week off. Episode 70 of the Strong and Petty podcast, right here in the Iron Age Gym in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Winnipeg's beautiful West End. It never really fails that when we have nothing to talk about, we're right on time.
Every time.
When there's nothing going on,
Every time.
Boy, oh boy, can me and Devin make that work. But when there's suddenly a shitload of things happening in the world of strongman, especially Canadian strongman stuff, we get busy. We get very busy.
Yeah,
so,
last week was just we just couldn't make it happen.
Couldn't make it happen. It was just day after day of not being able to make times work and not being able to put shit together. But hey, you know what? This is a fun little project for everybody to have fun with. So the moment that it stops being fun, we ain't doing it. But we do apologize for not being able to make it last time. We wanted to get on and have a chat about North America's Strongest Man. Congratulations to Max Boudreau for
Dominant performance.
just dominating it so thoroughly that they had to add an extra digit to the score sheet to make.
Yeah, they never had that.
No, so he absolutely obliterated Lucas Hatton in second place.
Never, but I haven't seen it.
Not that I've seen. And Tristan Hoth in third place. Like just a great podium. A podium of guys that we all like, all friends of the show, all guys.
And it was up and down. Like Lucas also dropped off there off that one event.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh boy.
Yeah,
Is he gonna claw his way back up?
His throwing isn't where he wants it to be right now. At least not at that pro level, right? But man, that 465 log that he hit was unbelievable.
Disgusting.
Max and Sam, like what a beautiful story. Both hitting Canadian records on the log.
Yep.
Max with the men's Canadian record, Sam with the women's.
Turn this way, it's easier.
455, new Canadian record for the men. So good fucking luck, guys. And on the women's side, 260. On the ladies' side, like imagine when you were starting strongman, saying that the ladies would be hitting 260. It's unbelievable.
No, the men weren't hitting that.
The men were hitting 260. Unbelievable. I think that Mel Peacock has hit 260 in training, never in comp.
Yeah.
So someday we're gonna have a battle
those
there.
Those two are back and forth on their circus dumbbell,
log. Yeah. One of these days they're gonna have a log battle, and it'll be very, very exciting to watch.
They're back and forth.
Yeah. So congrats to everybody who was involved with that one. It looked like an absolutely amazing show. Like it was just like. It was streamed. If you haven't watched it, it's on Lucas Hatton's live stream or on his YouTube. It was streamed on there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were gonna do it on Instagram Live the way it gets done typically. So Lucas was like, why don't I have my recording guy here? Why don't we just record it, and probably helps him get a little bit of traffic on his page, which is nice. And so it's all there to watch. It's all edited. It's very watchable. Just some like absolutely amazing stuff in there. Like the log, the men's log was unreal. Inez was just an absolute force the whole competition. Like she was
I still remember her at Arnold's face planting and continuing on.
Well, that's just that shows that she was a different type of athlete, different type of competitor, and she just crushed this competition with Sam in second place. And like the events were just it was they were heavy. They were like you could go there and do really well, and it would not show that in the standings. You could hit a 400-pound log there, and you would have been in like 10th place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's really insane. Like it's just there's just like they get to that next level. These guys are just keep pushing these boundaries that are just unbelievable.
Well, shout out to David Nolay last week nailing a 415 log.
Oh, really? I didn't see that. That's awesome. Wow, good for him, man.
I guess Hugo's record must have been 408.
Okay.
He had it in French, and my French is I'm pretty good at it.
You're pretty good, yeah.
But I grasped that he beat Hugo's log, and I don't know if they're buddies or what, but he had comments on there.
Wow. Well, yeah. So, Hugo Girard, for anyone who doesn't know, like one of the OGs of Canadian strongman, one of the first guys to really put the East on the map on the world scene. Yeah. That's awesome.
But I mean, talking about Max, we said the week before the show he needs.
Yes.
After Easterns didn't go well.
Yeah.
For him the way he wanted it, and a couple injury after injury. Congrats to him. He needed that show.
Somebody asked me. They were like, "Did somebody just remind Max that he was strong or something?" Because that's just what it looked like.
Yeah.
It looked like he was just like, oh, fuck, I'm really, really good at this. I forgot for a minute there.
Yeah.
And he just started crushing. Like, he just was an unstoppable force. And it really makes you excited to watch the Giants live that he's doing because it's kind of like all good events for him there, too. Yeah. And he's, like, riding the momentum off of this one. I can't imagine what he's going to be feeling going into that Giants live one because he didn't do great at Easterns, which was kind of like, oh, that's weird because that's like a step. It's a very, very difficult show. It's very heavy, but when you're comparing it to Giants Live or North America's Strongest Man, it's not up there with those ones.
But as an Eastern Canadian, it's like Westerns to you guys. That is the show you want to watch.
And it's super heavy. It is super, like the competition is super tight in that. So to see him do not so hot in that one, you were kind of like, oh shit, like maybe this just isn't going to be his year. And then all of a sudden, unbelievable run on that competition. CSM? Up for debate. I'm hearing a few guys are questioning their whether they'll be able to make everything that's going on this year in such a condensed period work. So still TBD who's going to be representing which places for CSM. We do know some of the names, but not all of them. We know our Western guys who will be going, which is very exciting. One guy that we do know that'll be there, who is also at the Magnus competition this weekend, Ben Court. Yeah, nice to see him. He came back around.
What an animal!
He's awesome, man. He's kind of
he's thick.
He's 330 pounds right now, and he's probably what 5'9", 5'10".
He was just shorter than me.
Yeah,
so it could be 5'10".
So 5'6".
Could be 5'10".
but he
he's
was
trying to bring the Viking down. And I'm like, below yours. I'm like, sucks you because your ears connect your shoulders. And it's kind of hard for Magnus to judge.
Man, he's huge right now, and he's so nice. Like I love Ben. He's such a great guy. And we just saw a whole bunch of great faces at the Gimli Magnus qualifier. John Wimberly, love seeing him there.
Yeah. Huge fan of the show.
Yeah. He's just a guy where it's just you see him and it's just like, oh, the day just got a little bit better because John's here now. You know what I mean? And there's a whole bunch of new faces that we met there. Brian Kitchen was another guy too who was
what a nice guy.
Just an absolute sweetheart.
I wasn't expecting that.
No, I had actually met him at the Arnold's.
Oh, okay.
I met him at the Arnold's and he was just nothing but smiles there, friendly guy. Especially when it's like that's a high pressure competition. You know what I mean? It'd be easy to kind of be just hi, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But he was very, very friendly and just Mr. Charisma.
Yeah.
At the competition, he's doing cartwheels. He's like 6'5" probably.
Yeah, he finished the Viking. No,
the car deadlift.
Car deadlift.
Yeah.
I seen it on my right eye.
Yeah.
Also, my dude just did a cartwheel. Like,
bust out a cartwheel. Yeah. And he's doing like the 3-point after the bag toss and stuff, and just very, very entertaining, very fun to watch. For anybody who doesn't know, the competition went quite well for me. I ended up taking it. Punched my ticket to the Magnus Classic in Iceland. Yeah, I'm very, very excited about that. It's kind of a weird, surreal thing. I wasn't going into this. Like, people were asking me what I thought the finish would be, and I was like, I'd like to get on the podium.
Yeah.
There's just some really incredible guys in this competition that it's kind of hard to say that I would be able to beat a lot of them. Like, Larson just beat me pretty handily at Westerns.
Oh, he comes to me after. He's like, Devin, why would you put a throw in here?
Thank God you did.
I'd never met him before, so.
He's a great guy too, and
a nice guy.
Yeah, he spanked me pretty good at Westerns there, but in a competition that was more geared towards his strengths.
Yeah.
And so when a guy is as learning as fast as he is and is already really good, only a year
been doing
in.
It 2 years.
Yeah, like he got his pro status in his first year.
Jeez.
Which is incredible, and so he is a guy that I could never just be like, well, I'll just beat him. That's
and
easy,
he's not a massive guy in terms of height.
Besides his belly.
Yeah. What is he? 20? I think he posted he was 27 and been training for 2 years.
Yeah.
He's not like he's 6'4" and came from a.
His background is in finance. He's in finance.
That's what I was just saying. He's not like I don't maybe he did play, but he's not like a big massive football guy who played and couldn't quite make it in that.
He's not like a welder or a carpenter who's like, well, of course that's where he gets that grip from. He's always, but he's got great grip. He's got great pressing. He's got a couple holes in the game where it's where that was really what dropped him. Like
a couple of donut holes in the game.
Yeah, so probably that. Yeah, the sandbag throw was not his friend, which really.
He came up and he's like, "This isn't good."
Yeah, it really hurt him on that one, especially having gotten 2 event wins.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's a pretty significant hit to take.
He comes up and he shakes my hand. And he's like, "Oh, Devin." He's like, "So nice to finally meet." He's like, "It's like shaking the hand of an eagle." And I'm like, "What have you heard about me?"
I don't know what that could possibly mean.
Yeah, Lance Lavely, same thing. Man, it's finally nice to meet you.
Another guy.
And I have been following his because Ben Thompson always posted about him a lot.
Right.
And he was big into the OS, like the Ontario Strongest Man scene. He's been around for years.
Yeah.
So,
he runs Cerberus Canada.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool meeting him.
Yes, I never met Lance before. He's a guy where everyone just seems to like him. No one seems to have a bad word to say about him. and I can definitely see why.
Old man strength.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, super strong still, very fun to compete with. Super like supportive, energetic in the back. You know what I mean?
There was not one bad competitor there.
No.
I've been to some shows like something where you're like, that guy's a bit of a dink.
Nope.
Man, they were all super friendly. It was fun.
There was a couple guys like I didn't get to talk to John Kavanaugh as much as I would have liked to, just because there's so much going on.
Yeah.
I didn't get to talk to Jesse Campbell as much as I would have liked.
Yeah.
Chatted with Spencer Campbell a little bit. These are just like the new guys I didn't really know. Yeah. But like Scott Dees from the States I talked to a little bit. Brian I talked to. Just got to kind of get to know them a little bit better because it's a weird thing where you can meet somebody at one of these shows, compete against them. We went to the beer gardens afterwards. We're hanging out. We're having a good time.
Yeah.
And then I might never see them again.
I wanted,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I wanted to hang out there with you guys. I came there. I drank a quart of a beer.
Yeah.
I hit a food truck, and I got in that beer garden. I'm like, Danielle, like I'm not doing good.
Just Friday.
Oh man, just food truck. The food truck. Whatever. Oh man. And I'm not gonna say because it was good food.
Right.
But I don't know the fact I hadn't eaten all day. I think
Just didn't agree with you.
I hit the porta potty right behind the beer gardens. I
Right.
barely made that, and then I made it to the Viking statue. I was in that porta potty.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, I got an hour and a half drive home. Can't speak. 'Cause I already got nailed on the way there with a breathalyzer and a speeding ticket, so I couldn't
Right.
do that on the way home.
Right.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, boy.
I had actually keeping food in until yesterday.
Oh, really? Is that bad?
That wasn't
Oh,
puking,
shoot.
but it was just my stomach couldn't handle it.
Just wouldn't take it.
Weird, but yeah, I wanted to stick around, and I got a Spencer Campbell credit because I met him. I'm like, okay, he's not another guy who's not a big guy. He's he's a big guy in terms of anybody you'd see
You
around,
see
like
walking
in
around,
the street.
yeah.
But I mean, like in terms of the guys there, and he comes up to deadlift. I'm like, okay, and then Jesse took his 0 on that.
Yeah.
On the deadlift, I'm like shit. And I see Spencer. I'm like, man, like I hope this guy at least gets one rep. And he bangs out he banged out a whole bunch.
Yeah, a bunch.
I'm like, okay, he's a little stronger than I thought he was. I gotta give him some credit.
There was a few guys there that
Yeah.
really had surprising performances in a couple events here and there that were really fun to watch. And like John Kavanaugh hit banging out a couple reps on the Viking press, and it was those were heavy. They were heavy implements.
Probably our biggest crowd to date.
I would say so. Yeah.
I had people commenting. And commenting still yesterday, like people. My buddy Kendall's real from Toronto went to see it.
Yeah.
Him and his girlfriend, their kids, and people that I didn't even know were there. Harold Reimer, like I said, he competed in Stallman back in the Brenham days.
Oh, really?
He
Wow.
was watching. He stopped me afterwards. He's like, Devin. I'm like, no idea who you are. I said, Harold. I'm like, holy shit, wouldn't recognize you. He's gonna come up to the Winkler show.
Tremendous.
Nice thing after because we had all the equipment set up, and we finished cleaning up, and I'm walking back to the venue after I went to get. I forget where it was. And some guy stopped. They're like, Devin, yeah, Pulse Fitness.
Oh, no shit.
And I'm like,
oh,
Rob. I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, we're from Pulse Fitness. I'm like, so you recognize some of the equipment? He's like, he says, it's kind of weird showing up and seeing Pulse Fitness all over. I said, Helmet designed this equipment. I wanted the blueprints from him, but he said it didn't have it anymore. Well, Helmet's son was standing with this guy. He's like, no, I have him.
Wow, really?
He's like, I still have a whole bunch of these blueprints. I'm like, that's pretty cool. And they're like, we want to be involved in the show next year. Let us know how we're going to get involved.
Wow.
Building equipment, sponsoring. We need to be involved in the show moving forward. And I was on my way home and I already had emails in my email from these guys.
Tremendous. Wow,
Yeah,
that's
so
great.
that's pretty cool.
Shout out Pulse Fitness then.
Yeah.
That's great.
So that's pretty neat.
Right here in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
It was an awesome show that you said the events were heavy. A couple of the guys, I think, probably knowingly jumped in a little bit out of their depth on this one,
Yes.
but they were just like, fuck it, man. Like, let's just try it. Jesse's a guy who typically competes in the U105 division.
Yep.
I would suspect that John is not very far out of the U105 division, if he is at all.
Yeah.
And these guys just gave it a shot, and I can always appreciate that. I can always respect that. There was guys like say Connor Gordon, who was like is just a beast of a man. Like, he's
And you know
just
what?
gigantic.
Props to him. He did a lot better. No offense, Connor. Last year he had some issues.
He had
with
the
cramping.
back
He couldn't
issue.
finish.
Yeah,
He had the back
yeah.
issue. He had some health issues.
Yeah.
He came in this year, and I'm like, we'll see how he does.
Right.
Me and Magnus even chatted a bit for years. And he's like, yeah, let's let him in again, but let's see how he does. Like last year was not a good representation. Shows up with Alec.
Yeah. Alec
Wasn't
Jose.
expect-
Came up,
wasn't
made the
expect to
trip.
see him there, and Connor did. He just missed the podium.
Yeah, he did a really great job. He really showed up and really showed out.
Alec was busting my balls and got me all mad.
But what?
These freaking guys. There's so many guys there, man. Like questioning my equipment. And you know how I get super touchy with the.
This is your babies.
Yeah, like I take a lot of pride in making sure the shit is crane scaled and everything's. And they're like the sandbag guys are like this isn't 15 feet. This is a 16-foot sandbag throw. I'm like, this is a 15-foot sandbag throw.
Motherfucker.
I'm looking at it and I'm like, I drilled those holes at 12 inches on center.
Right.
Everything's centered, and I think Alec was just really busting my balls. Is it Alex or Alec?
Alec.
he was really busting my balls. He was doing it on purpose, like, just to bug me. And I just met the guy. He's like, Devin, no, I believe you, Devin. And I'm like, no, you don't. And he's like, yeah, no, Devin, I believe that you.
No, I believe you, bro.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, you son of a bitch. Like, you don't. Now, did I screw up?
Yeah.
Like, is this wrong? And I'm stressed now. And the whole event, and he's like, Devin, we're just bugging you. And another guy's like, I don't know, man. This is a Canadian 15 feet, so it could be 16. He said, I heard about your Viking press at National, so I don't know what to trust. And I'm like, holy shit. I literally took that apparatus down and pulled out my tape measure.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I pulled that thing down after we were done the event. I pulled it down, and the guys were clear. I said, no. And I went and grabbed my 25-foot tape, and they were right. It wasn't 15 feet.
What was it?
14 foot 11 and 7/8.
So fuck you.
So for anybody who missed, you can't even throw 14, 11, and 7/8, you pussies. I was so and Alec was just laughing. Devin, I trust you. Nope, no, you don't. Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, he was a guy that I had a nice chat with afterwards too.
Yeah.
But that's very funny. Yep. So we started the day off with the car deadlift. To be honest with you, so they announced the order of athletes. Guess who gets to go last?
Oh, man. When I announced it, I was like,
dead last.
Yeah.
So that was fucking awesome.
Just the looks I get.
I was standing there, and you listed it off. You said, "I am last, Tyler." And I went, "Oh, very suspicious. Very suspicious, boys." And it's funny because I was talking to Thrones, and Thrones was like, I made sure that they knew that I did press random. And this is just Thrones to a T, was that he had Anna come and sit him, like, because they were in the hotel because she was out there for Westerns. So he gets someone to watch him do it.
Yeah.
So he made sure that Anna came over, watched him do it, pressed random. That's what showed up, and it was that's funny because I've never gone last in a competition before.
Yeah.
So it was the first time I've ever gotten that.
And of course, hometown crowd. Then you win
yeah.
the show.
Yeah.
It
all worked out pretty well, I must say. No, but it worked out well because I went last on the deadlift, and to be honest with you, it just felt like $1 million fucking bucks. It felt so good. When I pulled those first few reps, I was like, this is mine. Yeah. And the number that I had to get was 15, and even if I hadn't gotten last, I'm pretty confident that I could have gotten 20 if I had to. Yeah. And thank God I didn't, because I would have picked that probably as the number.
Which is crazy because you're not like 760 to be like, I deadlift 760 for 15 reps. Everyone's like, well, it's not really 760. We crane scaled it at the event because I tested it Thursday night. Or Friday. I think I tested it at home with my buddy's brand new F-150. He just bought it. Yeah. Brought it down. We tested it. 745 in the bottom. Got up to 767 or something. But throw one of your 12 inch. The handle height of 12 inches. A 767. Okay, that's exactly what we want. Get to the show, and the truck I tested on was a 6'6" box. This is a 5-foot box. Oh. Well, and I didn't know if the wheelbase is different, which then would change the leverages. Right. Holy shit! But I brought the scale with, so we grabbed the deadlift bar.
Right. I saw you guys doing that. I was wondering. I was like, oh, are we doing a front handle or something?
Yeah, no. So we grabbed the deadlift bar, Zercher squatted the thing, and checked the weight, and it was 760 in the hands.
There you go. Yeah. So yeah, no, it felt really, really good. It just felt like especially since I haven't done a side deadlift since Morris last year,
and it was low.
And he has a very low pick. Yeah. And it felt like shit last year. Yeah. So I didn't know what to anticipate this year. Like I saw, say, Ben was one of the early guys who got 12, and I was like, fuck. I was kind of hoping to get like 6 to 8. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh shit. So and then when I started going, I just banged it out and it felt really good. Brad was nice enough to make sure that he interviewed me afterwards after getting the
he was good
reps.
at that. Guys can't breathe.
And so it was funny because Dan said, he's like, I was pretty impressed that you were able to go do the deadlift, do the interview afterwards, and then you went and threw up and passed out, which is exactly what happened. Oh yeah, I went and puked my guts out afterwards. Wasn't a lot to puke out, but I got rid of it all. And then I went laid on the grass for about 5 minutes, but pulled it together for the Hercules hold, and this might have been one of my better results for a grip event. Ever, I would say.
Not better. That was your best result. Don't even go better.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. Yeah, no, I'd have to agree with that. Yeah, I was really, really happy with it. I got 5th overall, which for some people would be like 5th. What the fuck? But that's a really bad event for me typically. So it means it's improving, which I can
just becoming more well-rounded.
Hopefully, yeah. And a couple guys had trouble with the apparatus itself, which I was kind of counting on, to be honest with you. And to be clear, that Hercules hold has not been set up since.
Dude, I pulled it out of storage on dollies loaded it on the trailer, and assembled it to comp.
Like Morris last year, right? Would have been the last time it was set up.
Assembled,
yeah. So I don't.
It was in the back of the seat can. I wasn't pulling it. It's heavy. I don't even want to pull it up.
I made sure I told people that because I don't want people thinking that like I'm practicing on these implements that other people aren't practicing, because it's just not the case. But I do know those implements can fuck with people. And I think that a lot of people, I think a lot of people make the mistake of thinking that the Hercules hold is solely a grip event.
Yeah.
It's like predominantly grip, but it's not only grip. If you get pulled off to that one side, your grip can hold on, and you're still going to lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that one guy lasted 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, and he was frustrated, but it's just,
he gave us like this. It wasn't even set up, and I'm like, no, it was. We told you to pull the slack. If you don't pull the slack, and I'm talking the complete slack, the second those levers pull, it's going to pull on whichever side you're not perfectly centered on. It pulls to that side. Now you got to counterweight that whole thing back. Jesse Campbell did it. It pulled him left. It was Jesse Spencer had pulled him left, and he centered it and then did the 45 seconds. Yeah. So it is doable.
Yeah, it's hard to do though.
Yeah,
and it is part of it too, though. You know what I mean? Like it's. I think a lot of people think of Hercules hold as being the one where it falls all the way to the ground, and then that would be your grip would always let go.
Yeah.
But much more often, however often you see a Hercules hold, it's going to hit a stopper.
Yeah.
And so if you lean too far forward, even if your grip holds on and you hit that stopper, like that's just the end of the run, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So that ended up being an okay one. I got 39 seconds or whatever. Larson taking it with almost a minute.
Yeah, props to Jesse Campbell too.
Yeah, Jesse Campbell coming second.
And no offense to Jesse, because he was 105, but he was the first to go. Yeah, he was first to go because he took his through on the deadlift.
Yeah.
And I swear I had the weights a little light, and I told you that. But I didn't have a reference point to the last time we ran it a year ago.
Yeah.
So I just loaded on everything I had. Okay, this should be a good weight. I knew roughly what it should be. He did 45 seconds. Now I'm like, shit.
Yeah. But he's got some mitts on him, too.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, it's either he's got a good grip, but like I was saying, like you look at his hands, it's like one side from his hands all the way up.
It
to
really
his
is, yeah.
Like his forearms. My buddy Dean was like, "Did you see Jesse's forearms?" I said, "Wow." He's like, "It's just one side."
It's one, yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like a.
And he took third in that event.
Yeah, he did really, really well in that one. So it was fun to see guys who didn't do as hot in one event really crush another one.
So I knew the weight was right because I was scared. Guys are going to a minute and a half. It's boring for the crowd.
Yeah.
No, guys were struggling.
No. Yeah, 30 seconds ended up being kind of like the split.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good event. Worked out well. Dan had his first like good run on there
because his grip sucks too.
His grip sucks, but it's unfortunate because it's more typically like he loses the balance. It's happened twice to him on that machine.
Yeah.
So don't think it doesn't happen to the local guys, because it does.
Dude, he had one where it was boom, it was done.
Yeah.
So he was like, this is bullshit.
Yeah. So I was very happy to see that wasn't the case this time. He had a great run with it.
Yeah.
That went into the Viking press. It felt really good compared to how it had been in training. Like I had loaded it to comp weight about 2 weeks out of the competition, and I hit a double on it, and I couldn't hit a third.
Yeah.
That was just where I was at that day, and I was like, wow, that felt like shit. So we're gonna see how this goes. And then when I was watching guys hit like 5 and stuff, I was like, oh crap, like this is gonna be a big point loser for me. Ended up getting 6 with one not counted for a split.
Just a massive double dip.
Yeah, like a straight up like clean jerk.
Dude, it was
or like push jerk.
Right, like and your rep before that, you did a little bit.
Yeah.
And I know Magnus caught it, and I caught it right away.
Yeah.
And then the next rep, you just exaggerated.
Just went for it. Yeah. I don't know.
Send it. Let's see if I can get away. I was like,
never do that. Never do it. And it was.
And you do. The second you did it, you're just like.
It was. Yeah. I looked at Magnus and shook my head. I was like, I know.
Yeah.
And I was like, no conscious decision, no nothing. I was just like, it was just what I just defaulted into for some reason, which is strange because I never do that, and like I don't practice those ever. But getting 6 on that was very satisfying.
I think Larson does 8 reps. You wanted 9, right?
He got 9, needed 8.
Yeah, so he's at the 8th rep, and he's holding their shoulder, and he yells to the crowd, "Everyone want to see one more?"
Yeah.
The cheer crowd gets loud.
See, that's nice. There's fun ways to make sure that you're entertaining the crowd too and stuff. Like they're there for a good time. It's easy for us to kind of forget that this is a freak show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's easy for us to get that. Like for us, it's a very important thing that kind of dictates what we're going to be doing for the rest of our year here.
Yeah.
But for the people who are there watching, it's just it's something to take in on an afternoon before they go and see the Viking guys do sword fights.
Well, it's kind of nice for you because you were done after the show.
Yeah.
That was it.
That was my plan.
Because you missed out on CSM with the Westerns.
Yeah.
And it's like son of a gun, and now you got a chance here.
I was kind of looking forward to it a little bit, honestly.
Oh,
I was just kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna like. I had a plan that I was gonna peak my deadlift into Deadlift for Dreams, which we'll talk about later. And then I was gonna be like, all right, a nice long hypertrophy block, and then I'm just gonna retool things and just like really have a plan for next year. And I don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining in the slightest, but I was I was looking forward to that a little bit, and now I have a complete change of plans.
Now it's
where I'm headed to Iceland for the biggest show that I've ever done. So.
It's pretty freaking cool.
It's very exciting. And then, so after the Viking press, we had the sandbag throw.
Yeah.
Again, like a real split the points for guys. Like some of the guys who'd done really well, like say Ben, who did well on the deadlift, who did well on the Viking press, did not do so hot on the bag throw.
Yeah.
And Larson did not do so hot in the bag throw. And it was just, it's guys, I mean, you can see a pattern. Like Dan didn't do so hot on it either. Yeah. And you stand these guys next to each other.
Yeah, the
and
shorter
you're like,
guys.
Okay, I can see what's going on here. And then you got me and Brian, who did quite well in it, Andrew, who did quite well in it. And actually Scott Dees did really well in it too.
Yeah, he did,
who was built more like those first group of guys.
Yeah.
But that was really
Who won that?
Brian. Because he was the only one to get all 6.
Yeah.
65 at 14 and 7/8.
Yeah, 14 foot 11 and 7/8.
Yeah, 14, 11 and 7/8.
You can't even talk about his 15 thanks to Alec.
But he very convincingly won that one, and there was no I could not
he was launching those things.
60 for me at 15. I was pretty happy with that. I've never gotten 65, and I didn't really anticipate getting it this time, and I was right. But it ended up being good for me. I'm pretty sure I got second on that one. So from there we went into I think probably the toughest event of the day.
Yeah, by far.
The shield carry, the whatever you want to call it, stone carry, shield carry, Hoosfeld carry. Jesse Campbell just took that thing for a fucking run.
Unreal.
Yeah, and it's fun to see that. It's fun to see a guy kind of live up to what a 105 guy should be: conditioned, athletic.
Yep.
Moves well.
It was 350 pounds and 349 point something on the scale.
Yep. So it was very heavy. He got 220, I think.
He set the pace.
Yeah, he sure did. He made it. He showed me that I was like, okay, well, these guys can do this stuff. And I'm looking at Brian, and he's tall. He's a very, very big guy, but nothing is out of proportion.
And he's athletic.
Yes,
there's nothing. By the way, he
just moves and the way he was dicking around, like when he's doing a cartwheel and stuff. You know what I mean? I was like, I can't take anything for granted with this guy.
Yeah.
And like I said, he's got long limbs, long legs, so he can get that shield up high.
Yeah.
He can get long strides with it. So I really knew that I had to for the people who didn't watch it, we were separated by half a point. Brian was in first place and I was in second place. So literally whoever won this shield was going to win the competition.
Yep.
And it was a very dramatic finish to this competition. And I'm fortunately for me, the shield carry is kind of my shit. Last year at Farm Strong, we did 350, and I got it for...
It's brain off and walk.
I got it for 320 feet. However, that shield was a little bit shorter, so it was a little bit easier than this one here. That's why I think the distance was a little bit shorter. But I ended up getting 270-something, and Brian just missed that mark, getting right around 200 feet. And it was... I went till I passed out on it. He went till it slipped, right out of his fingers. Yeah. It was go till the very, very end, and it was a really exciting finish. And I was just really thankful for the guys who pushed that and made it so it was such a fun, tight finish at the end. And it was it was very fulfilling because Brian was the guy that I had to pick. I picked to win it.
Oh, okay.
He was my guy to take it. So to be like, I get a little bit of maybe an imposter syndrome sometimes where I see these guys and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna fucking hang with this guy.
Yeah.
So to show that I could have meant a lot to my own sake. And my parents were me and my mom me and my mom had a hug, and she's getting a little emotional, and when she gets emotional, I get emotional. You know what I mean? But it was really.
You hear me
nice.
shit talking your dad?
No.
No, I should talk to dad on the mic.
What do you say?
He had said, oh man, he had made a comment one of the events after. Like a comment towards the judging or something like that. Or if you do it, or did you do it this way because of something like that? Like he made a comment to me and Brad and Magnus, and I came on the mic and said, "No, I did that just because it's your damn son."
Yeah, no, they were excited, and they're going to be so. For the repercussions of that win is that I get to go to the Magnus Classic in Iceland at the end of November, and they're going to come with me.
Do you still have family out there?
Oh, probably.
Like your dad's from Iceland?
No. My great grandpa.
Oh, okay.
Sigurd Sigurdsson. Is
that what it is?
Yeah.
Sigurd
Sigurdsson. Yep. So he's the old family is from Iceland, but we're very excited to go there. It's been kind of my brother's talking about coming to, and my aunt and uncle and stuff, and just making a sort of a big family trip because we've I guess they've been looking for an excuse to go, and this is a really good excuse. And when we look at the guys who are in that competitive field already. Tristan, Westerwinski,
Yeah.
Rongo Keane,
Yeah.
three
Yeah.
world's strongest man competitors right there.
Tristan.
It's gonna be a very, very good crop of guys that I'm very, very excited to compete against. There's a couple of names there that I didn't recognize, but
And it's in the elements.
yeah, absolutely.
It can be raining and you're doing
Yep.
your favorite Denny Stone carries.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I've been kind of like I went through the list of the events I've done in the past and kind of like did some cross sectioning. Like, okay, they'll probably have this. They'll probably have this. I'm really, really, really hoping that they have the Husfeld Stone carry.
The real one, yeah.
Yeah, the real one, because I think that I could do good in it, and I think that if I train it, I don't like
maybe set a world record.
I'm not putting anything out there that I don't think that I could do, but I think that it's possible. But that's one that I can't wait to do. I can't wait just to be there. It's going to be really, really exciting. I've always wanted to go to Iceland. I've always wanted to compete there, so to be able to do both at the same time is really something special.
Yeah.
What about for you? Like you were on the other side of the whole competition. Like, how did it go for you?
Good. You know what? Good.
It looked
I said today when you went just for the podcast, I'm done. I'm done for the year.
Yeah.
Like I'm just mentally done for the year, and that has to do with business and life in general. But I'm just like I'm cooked. And when I was going to that show, and I've said this to him, like, maybe this is my last year in this. Like with the makes it a lot. It's not. Brad did a ton of work.
Yep.
Brad did all the back end work or the front. Like he did all the fundraising. That guy was running everyone back to the airport, like taking his own time. I didn't have that to do any of that. I showed up with the equipment around the show and I left.
Right.
So props to Brad Hurst.
Absolutely, yeah. Shout out, Brad.
Outside of Jeremy Wiens' realtor.
Yep.
If you're looking for a realtor, that's your man.
Yep.
You got to hit up.
If you're in the Interlake.
If you're in the Interlake, though, got to hit a Brad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeremy's our sponsor. We love Jeremy. Might as well give him a quick plug while we're here.
Yeah,
anyways.
absolutely. Jeremy, I got a message from him not 20 minutes ago, congratulating me on the win. He's just the nicest guy around, and I went to your daughter's baptism.
Yeah.
And I turn around, and who's the first person I see sitting in the pew is Jeremy Wiens. So he's a guy he's involved in everything. He's part of the community. He's one of the
whole family's coming to watch provincials.
Oh, really? Great,
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, he's one of the guys that he's a relatively new face to the whole strongman stuff, and what a bright shiny face to have around.
Pretty cool. You guys came to a baptism, or my daughter's baptism.
I wish it was your baptism.
I was baptized years ago, but I was thrown on the bus so hard by my kids.
Yeah, you sure were. Yeah, absolutely. Especially Morgan, she really gave it to you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talk about we will get back to the comment. Talk about being embarrassed at your own church. My daughters got baptized. They're 12 and 14, and Morgan was too embarrassed, or just she's shy. My youngest, Katie, is just a bubbly personality.
She had no problem speaking. Yeah, she did a great job.
Morgan did not want to speak in front of the church, so she pre-recorded her message.
Which was funny because when we were watching it, it's like if you're watching like a Twitch streamer or like a YouTuber or something, like, hey guys, what's going on? It's Morgan.
And she's like, oh, these dang mosquitoes.
Yeah, she's just like, yeah.
And she's just talking about her path to God and how she's, because we've always raised him in the Christian faith, but I wasn't always a great person, and I've struggled with a lot of problems, and in my language, the word, on top of everything else, and she just in the middle of her test, where it's like, yeah, I grew up, like, I learned about God, this and that, but my dad, he swears a lot.
He's working on it, she says.
It's been getting better lately, but he's like, so he swears once I started swearing, but he didn't know that. I'm like, I actually never knew that until that. and let's talk about. And then my mom's got a Bible study group. So then we baptize her after I'm red in the face. I'm sure the water's boiling with me in it. And we baptize her, and she gets out, and I'm waiting for her.
You were beet red. You were redder than
I know, dude. Everybody's talking about that. Like, we've never seen you so red in your life.
But the water was hot too, right? You said?
Dude, that water was warm.
Yeah. So
she gets out of the tank, and the pastor's a good buddy of mine, Rick.
Who looks exactly like you too, by the way.
Yeah, we're both
looks like a skinnier version of you. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's been a close friend of mine since I was a kid. He was my youth leader.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's like, man, isn't it funny how Morgan says my dad swears a lot, and this way he's saying in front of the whole congregation. Isn't it funny how her dad swears a lot, but her mom has a Bible study?
Her mom runs a Bible study. Yeah.
So probably the funniest thing. So that's pretty cool of you guys. So yeah, but you guys come out. Jeremy came out. Family man, I filled half that church.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. So again, shout out to Jeremy Wien for just always being around, always being part of the community. If you see him at Winkler, say what's up to him.
Yeah, hit him up.
Just drop him a line. Tell him you heard about him on the podcast. Tell him that if you're ever in the market for a home, or if you're ever in the market to sell or whatever, or you're ever in the market for somebody to come to your baptism,
yeah, and he's there.
He's the guy to talk to.
Yeah. So back to the show. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I mean, I got that speeding ticket on the way there, so I was a little pissed.
I say this every time, and it's like, and I really, really don't want it to come off as just like knob polishing, but the show is so fun in Gimli. It runs so smoothly. We were done in like 3 hours.
Two and a half.
2.5 hours. But it didn't feel rushed.
Jonathan says, like, this is my favorite show to do.
Yeah.
That Brian Kitch, I talked to him afterwards.
Yeah.
He said that was the fastest, smoothest show I've been at.
Yeah, it really, it's just like, it's, first of all, you're in the area is like this perfect arena for strongman.
Yeah.
Where we're down in this like cul-de-sac that has like elevated stone all around it that people can, like, paths and people that they can stand on and watch.
Behind it.
The water's behind us, so we're getting a breeze coming off of that.
Viking statue to the left.
Yeah, it's beautifully sunny. It's just a great venue, first of all.
Yeah.
And then the competition just runs so easily and so smoothly. We shout out to all the volunteers that came out and helped out again, like the way they always do. It's really, really good to have people come up, especially when we got the Americans and stuff who were coming, and just to have a nice experience.
Well, when I seen Alec there, then I'm under pressure.
Sure.
Like, I don't care which competitor shows up, because I'm like, competitors, I know I can put but when a guy comes up who coaches, he coaches the world's strongest woman, he coaches some of the top strongmen in the world.
Absolutely.
He's been to all the biggest of the biggest shows.
Yep.
He's been to everywhere, and then he's coming to my show.
Yeah.
And then I feel judged.
Sure.
Like then I'm under. Now I need to make sure this runs.
Absolutely.
This runs smooth.
And it did. So
Yeah.
there's no I'm not, so the Magnus show is really the only one of the year that I'm not like directly involved in with you, because it's you and Brad doing it.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have that opportunity just to sort of sit back and just like take it in as just an athlete. And experience just like how nice it is, because it's easy to get sort of lost in the minutia of it. Like when I'm even at Manitoba Strongest Man, I'm running around, if the stream is missing something, or if we have to get the shirts figured out, or whatever it is. Like, there's still things that have to be done before we can compete. So my mind isn't really on the competition until it's competition time.
Yeah.
And it's always nice to have a little bit different at the Magnus show, where it's just like I'm there as an athlete to compete. I get to watch how things are, how they operate and how they run, and it's always smooth.
Anything you heard? Any criticism or feedback you heard in the athletes area?
Just that you're ugly.
Yeah, that's not right.
No, they didn't. No, I don't.
Tell me straight to my face.
I honestly don't think that I heard anything that was. I'm being 100% serious. I don't think that I heard anything that was like, this needs changing or that needs changing or anything like that. It was. It's just an easy show to go and show up and do and have fun.
It was a blast. I told Danielle afterwards, I'm like, I'm stuck in this for another year, I guess. Because it's, I have so much fun there. Me and Magnus get along with. I mean, we shoot the shit online and stuff around Messenger all the time, but I enjoy it. I have fun. The competitors are always awesome. It's such a smooth running show. The environment, like, no lie, we had over 1,000 people.
Oh yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
People, like, I talked to Zoli after. He's like, man, I wanted to leave to get food, but it was running so fast and so smooth, I couldn't afford to miss an event.
Yeah, absolutely.
The shit's just that they always book us 12 to 5. We're done by 3.
We're never there. A few people approached me at like 4 o'clock, be like, "Hey, where's the strongman thing?"
Yeah,
and it was like it never
so we're
goes
changing
that
that
long.
next year. I think
it's got to be changed. Yeah,
12 to 3 or 1 to 4. We're gonna run next year.
Yeah, because
I feel bad. A lot of people want to get in.
See the
because there's a strongman show, and there's also the Viking fighting happening at the same time.
Right.
So dudes dressed up with swords and just smash each other. So people are like, I want to watch that.
I'll check that out.
It's the Viking festival.
Yeah.
So that'll change for next year. But we already had the shout out Iron Image Gym.
Yes.
They jumped up. It's a huge sponsor because Langler competed. Shout out to Langler, 5th place.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
First year.
Yep. Doing
this
great.
will be his biggest show.
Yep.
Pulled to 5th place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. Give him another year of off season and practicing technique and stuff, and we're gonna see what he can really pull together.
Yeah,
it's
he'll
fun
do.
To see.
But big shout out to Iron Image. They showed up. Tom showed up. Tom was there, right? Yeah.
Tom and Matt were both there.
Yeah.
Both the owners.
Showed up. They donated. They sponsored big, actually, which really helped us break, because we weren't in the black.
Right.
We were in the red leading into that show.
Yeah.
And they sponsored them. Now Paul should jump on. And Iron Image already committed to next year.
Tremendous.
So that's so freaking cool.
Yep. I'm a big fan of Iron Image. I'm a big fan of both Tom and Matt. I've known Matt for a long time. I'm sure I mentioned it before, but he used to be a pro wrestler too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he did bodybuilding he did wrestling, then got into bodybuilding, and then opened the gym with Tom after that. So when he was finished with wrestling, but I've known him for 15 years now.
Yeah, nice guys.
Great guy.
Supportive.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was really cool.
Yep. We are big fans of Iron Image and Selkirk here. If you're in the Interlake area, that's really the place where you should be going to.
That is the place.
And for anything, not even just for strongman. They just have a huge, like, every time I go there.
Well, they host our WRPF meets. They host. Yeah.
Every time that I go there, they've taken over another part of that building.
Yes.
And have made it their own, and it's just they grow and expand all the time. It's awesome. They're not sponsoring our podcast, but they are somebody that we want to give a shout out to
unless
they wanted to. But they're fantastic.
Same with RP11. If you're looking for a sponsor to get you more publicity where it doesn't matter.
Yeah. if you want to throw your money away, we can help
Pulse
you with
Fitness?
that.
Yep.
They're local though.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
So we can help them. We love seeing a place like Iron Image get involved because it's just like it's such a tight network community here.
Yeah.
And I don't mind telling you that I go to bat more for places that are involved.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I'm the same way.
If somebody is looking for a place, if someone's looking for a realtor, there's one person that I'll point them to. Somebody who's involved in our community, someone who's doing our stuff.
Yep.
If someone's looking for a plumber, well, I happen to know this woman Anna, who's a really talented plumber, and she's in our community. You know what I mean? Like I'm happy to push people who are involved in helping.
I did your brother's siding.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. It's just
I got canceled this week, but
from Blake.
No, I got. Holy shit! Did I get lit up online?
Uh-oh.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I got ripped on the amount of 1-star reviews that came in this week.
Why?
That was one of the reasons I didn't make. I had too much. So, what am I hire subcontractors. This guy's been with me for years. He's a good contractor. There was a hole this big in we're redoing a bunch of projects, a bunch of big multifamily units we're redoing for a company. And new siding, new stucco, new everything. And there was a board that had a hole in it, and there were some baby birds inside there.
Okay.
He couldn't get them out.
Okay.
Couldn't get them out. We had to cover the building. I didn't know this, though. So he's a very old-fashioned type of dude, very old-fashioned. So he just covered up the wall and continued on.
Right.
All right. Not something I would personally do.
No.
I would, but he couldn't get them out because the hole's this big and they were in the wall.
Right.
So they had already penetrated the insulation. They already threw everything, which actually sucks on its own.
Right.
So it needed to be sealed. I didn't know this. 10:30, quarter to 11 at night, I'm lying in bed. I'm trying to go to sleep, and my phone starts going off. And it's some of my workers, more subconscious, my friends of mine, and they're like, "Hey, you're getting ripped online right now." Like, what do you mean I'm getting ripped online? Like on all the St. James pages and Google, and I'm like, for what? And somebody was like, there were some birds in this wall, and the workers were aware of it, and they covered the birds, and one of the guys said, "No, they're just fucking birds."
Oh, no.
And the lady heard that, and I'm like, oh.
To be clear, though, these are not people who are employed by you. They're subcontractors.
They're contractors, yeah. They're a representation of my company because they've been with me for years. So this is 11 o'clock. I'm like, well, there's nothing I can do at 11 o'clock at night.
Right.
So I get up at 5:30, and my phone's still going off all night. So I didn't sleep much because it was going off during night, and I was checking during night, so I didn't sleep. And I get up, I think this is Thursday morning or Friday morning, whatever it was. And I called that crew in my office, like, first thing in the morning. And I'm like, hey, like, what's happening? Actually, I called them at 6 in the morning already. I'm driving in. I called them just after 6. I'm like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
Why are we covering birds? Like, whoa, what's going on? And he's like, damn, we tried getting them out there, and we couldn't get them out. And like, the contractor gives us, like, the builder gives us a date to have this done.
Right.
He's like, we had to keep going. And I'm like, go there and take the dang fascia board off. Like, take this thing off. And I'm like, and hopefully these birds are alive. Like, he's like, okay, I'll get there first thing. So he took the fascia board off, and all the birds are still alive.
Okay.
Yeah, Mama Bird came in. I'm like, leave it off. Finish the building except for those pieces. I'll pay to send service guys back and unfit. Like, I'll pay to send the guys and send them back. I'll eat the bill on that. Like,
well, happy ending for
the only downside
is
so that original post got shared everywhere.
Right.
You think that my post saying, hey, we're made aware of a situation, we rectified the situation,
right.
Birds are all still alive, we apologize, like it was, I didn't know this was happening.
I suspect no, probably.
Not a chance. I had some lady message me, and I'm like, maybe I said to her, I'm like, maybe instead of like slandering my company online, why didn't you call the office or call the numbers listed and find out what's going on so I can rectify the situation as fast as possible. It's like, well, as an employer, you should know what your employer's doing at all times, and you should have known they were covering birds. Are you retarded?
That's an insane thing to,
Yeah, like, I'm like, I look at this lady's profile, I'm like, oh, man, like, because I hold grudges, just like that guy who cut me off on the highway and I found where he lives. Like, I hate people like that.
Yeah.
And, this lady, I'm just like, oh, I hope one day find your card.
Hope I put you in a wall and,
Yeah.
and seal it over it.
I wanted to send her back a message. I'm like, but what am I going to argue with a lady on Facebook?
Yeah, that's exactly
And I'm like,
it,
no,
yeah.
like I understand I should know what my contracts are doing, but there's something like there's stuff I can't do.
Right.
So we fixed it. I got riddled with bad reviews. Ladies commenting on like personal photos. Like so me and my business partner, my service manager is also a business partner, and my employee stuff. We're at a curling event for like a fundraiser or a Bonspiel thing, and she's commenting on the personal photos. Which one, you scumbag piece of shit, kills animals?
Holy shit.
I'm like, holy shit, lady. Like I didn't even know.
All of us on,
Yeah,
different,
and I'm
on different hunting seasons and fishing seasons and stuff.
Like I'm a guy who won't kill something unless I'm eating it.
Right.
And so yeah, I'm like, lady, like, so I had to remove a bunch of comments. I'm like,
Holy
the
smokes.
Facebook, Google review. So my business took a couple star hits this last
Wow.
week.
Well, fuck that shit. That's brutal.
So I'm not a bird killer. We fixed the situation. All the birds are alive.
Yeah, the birds are alive.
And so that, like, I would never cover birds.
No.
For one, I'm scared of birds, so I actually hate birds.
Really?
So I was kind of like, meh. I'm terrified of birds.
Really? That's weird.
Wait a minute. I got bit by a wild turkey when I was a kid at a game farm. It like reached through the cage and bit a chunk out of my jacket and stuff. And I was like 4, petrified of birds.
Traumatized.
We go goose hunting. I'll pump like 12 shots in a goose. I'm like, oh, I guess I can't eat that now. It's got all the lead in it. Like, that's exaggeration.
There's the update on Devin's bird situation.
So, anyways, I'm not a bad person.
Yeah, just make sure everyone knows that. On the same
Go to
day.
Reddit side and leave me some good reviews, please.
Yeah. If anybody's bored on the internet.
No, because now Garrett's going to go on there. This bird killing piece of shit.
If anybody does that, I'll fucking kill you.
Birds are all alive. We fixed the
don't
situation.
Don't do that.
Yeah, they comment on another one of my commercial buildings. Oh, is this one of the walls you just killed birds to building where the project
Holy
did?
smokes.
Did you cover birds in this one too? Holy crap, lady.
That's crazy because I can kind of like agree with the sentiment, but it's like at a certain point, it's like, all right, like they're fucking birds, we get it. Like it's just like
but call the business.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The phone number's listed.
Yeah, that's not going to do much otherwise.
Yeah.
On the same day that the Magnus show was running, we had Martin taking over the live stream, by the way. Him, Becca, and Jeremy did a fantastic job.
I had lots of good feedback
Yeah,
on that.
Jeremy doing the commentary. Loved it.
Any comments on it?
Like on the YouTube page itself?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm going to look it up, see if there are any comments on the video.
But they did a great job, and the reason that they took it over was because Thrones was accompanying Anna, who did Strongest Woman in the West.
Yes.
She got 6 out of 12 there, I believe it was. I know it was 6. I think it was out of 12. Split top of the amateurs.
723 views.
Tremendous.
Holy shit.
She did a fantastic job. She tied with Jocelyn and Jackie Oshevsky in the Jocelyn O'Brien and Jackie Oshevsky in the overhead press event.
Yeah, man, she looked good in that.
Which is not something that I don't think anybody expected, because it's a fun period for her right now where she shows up. Obviously, she looks fucking strong. Like she's got strong looking legs, big shoulders, and all that shit. But people don't know what she can do.
Yeah.
And when that first event is the press, if you can really make an impression on the press, people are going to be like, "Oh fuck, this is somebody."
Well, she beat some of the more staples, and like Therese, she beat a bunch of these girls.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, okay, she's really establishing herself for the future because she's young.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that she because Josh Cloherty reached out to me afterwards and said what a great job she did and how it was nice, great to have her there. And I said, yeah, well, the thing with her is that she's still putting a focus on Olympic lifting right now.
Yeah, she's not solely.
She's competing this weekend in an Olympic lifting meet.
Yeah, which is her focus.
That's what I'm really like. It might seem sort of counterintuitive, but I'm very, very happy about that. I would much rather her wring Olympic lifting dry, get everything that she can get out of that, because the prime years for Olympic lifting are much earlier.
Yes. Than
the prime years for powerlifting or strongman.
Yeah.
So get everything she can out of that, and then all of a sudden, when it's time to do strongman, learning strongman is fucking easy compared to learning Olympic lifting.
Yes.
Easy. So when she already has the technique of Olympic lifting and stuff, when she's already fast, she's already explosive, and then when we start just practicing the implements of strongman, boy oh boy is she going to be a fucking threat at that level.
Yep.
When she's in her, I mean, earlier than that, but when she's in her late 20s, man, she's going to be fucking deadly.
Give her a couple more years, she'll be the top.
Yeah. She did a great job. She took the 630 yoke for a 10-foot run. Like, just really, really, really proud of how she did.
I didn't get to watch it. I did catch pieces of it. I was watching pieces of it.
Yes, I'm going to watch it still. I haven't gotten a chance yet,
but
I'm very excited to sit.
But I've seen the press.
Yeah, I'm very excited to sit and watch that one. The deadlift, we have some more work to do with that one still. She was the only Western girl or Manitoba girl out there. Ariel tweaked her pec and couldn't get out there, unfortunately. So we want to wish her all the best in her recovery on that one. But we're all of Manitoba was very, very happy to hear that Anna went out there and repped us all so well.
Yeah.
And next year, I want to see more. I just want to see more people doing it, more of the ladies out here.
They give out huge prize money.
They did, yeah. They did a really great. They really take care.
$3,000, I think.
Yeah, and the people who put it on.
They give out more than we put out at Magnus.
Yeah, well, there you go. Jocelyn, Bailey, Josh, the people who put it on. If there's more, I'm sorry, but those are the ones that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
They really poured their heart and soul into that, and especially when we're talking about, say, like Jocelyn and Bailey, where it's like it's really important to them that this is a good show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they know that the talent is there in Western Canada. Jackie Oshevsky winning first place, and not a huge surprise there, but the talent is there, and they just need places to do it, and they need promoters to take the chance, and they need events like that, and we do it with Manitoba's Strongest Woman here.
Well, and Anna's doing provincials, right?
She's not.
Oh, she's not.
No, she's not. She has another Olympic lifting meet that she's focusing on afterward. So
okay.
yeah, so that's her point of focus right now. But we like Jackie Oshevsky being an example where she's really, really good, like really strong,
Yes, she is, yeah.
and she gets a little bit of her shine taken because, say like she's in the same province as Mel,
Yeah.
and she's competing on some of the same shows as like say Sam,
Yeah.
where it's like they're like that next level, but Jackie is really not far behind them.
No, she's not.
No,
she's far behind.
really, really strong,
No.
and she's just getting better. And I'm really excited to see what she does at the Shaw. She's gonna.
How many Canadian guys are going there? And women?
A
few, eh?
We have Jeffers.
Colton.
Colton dropped out. We have Jackie, Mel, Sam. Oh, there's more.
There's gonna be more.
And then in the Strongest Man on Earth, we have Tristan and Wes. Presumably Mitch Hooper. I forget if he's in it or not, but I actually don't know. But
I would think, yeah.
I would think so. Really strong Canadian representation. And
is Holtz doing Shaw Classic or Strongest Man? He's doing.
So the Shaw Classic is like the open one,
yeah.
And then the Strongest Man on Earth.
Tristan's
is like,
doing Strongest Man on Earth. Though.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if we mentioned it yet, but he got us invited to the Rogue competition too.
Yes.
So that's great. The Rogue competition really sucked last year. They're a big enough company that I don't have any problem telling them that their show was dog shit, and they have all the funds and all the resources in the world to make it better.
Yeah, there were a lot of issues with that show last year.
A lot of issues with the show last year.
Yeah.
It really felt like an afterthought compared to all the other stuff they did. So this year, the first step to making it a great show was to invite Tristan Hoth.
Yeah.
And they did that.
Yep.
So I'm really excited to see. This is what we talked about. This is the beginning of the ball rolling for Tristan, where all of a sudden he's just one of those guys now that you're going to see on these shows, and he's going to start making more appearances like this. I'm really excited for when the Arnold invites start going out to see if he's on that list.
Between him, Wes Dewinski after.
Yep.
Max coming back up again and
Max
getting
absolutely.
Like you said, it's not a comeback. I just need to take care of myself. Glad to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, for sure.
It's gonna be cool. All these Canadian guys, like stuff you never seen that.
No, and a guy let's say like Jeffers who's on the cusp.
Yeah.
And these guys who are right there, ready
well,
to
see
have
what the Reum, whatever the hell.
the Reum twins, yeah.
Reum twins,
yeah. I want to see them out there more. I want to see them doing some of those big shows because they're very capable.
Yeah, he won this weekend.
Yes, Gabe did? Or Fred?
Oh, man, I don't know. Shit.
I want to say it was Gabe. I think Gabe won.
Yeah. Only one of them competed, so.
Yeah, it was in Rimouski, Quebec, and they had a circuit show there. And shout out to Sam Risling too, who won SAS Strongest Man.
Yes.
Clean sweep of the events there. I know that he probably would have liked to have seen Jeffers or Isaac there to whatever, but hey man, it's who's the strongest man in the province in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like if guys are hurt or if guys are unavailable,
they weren't the strongest that day.
They were the strongest that day. So shout out to Sam for having a big win.
People always take that away from guys. Oh, if I was there, I would have won. If I would have came to the Magnus, I would have won the show. No, but you didn't, and you couldn't because you either had commitments, you were injured, or you weren't recovered. So you weren't the best that day.
The bottom line is that you couldn't win because you weren't there.
Exactly.
And
it's who was the best that day.
That's Jeffers commented that on. People thought that Jeffers was making fun of me. He was making fun of somebody else on his comment on my thing. Yeah. But it was, and that's it is what it is.
It's like Royal Strauss Man.
Yeah.
Tom wins. Next show, Hooper wins.
Yeah.
It's just Tom was better that day.
Sure. Yep.
The next day, Mitch was better.
Yep. Absolutely.
And that's the way it works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's gonna be, and that's what makes the sport so fun.
Yeah.
So this weekend, we are already coming up on the end of our season here in Manitoba. At the end of our regular season, we have more stuff coming up, but the end of our official strongman season with August 10th in Winkler, we have SCC Provincials.
Yep.
We've just gotten word that it'll now be an indoor event.
Yeah, they moved us in their big multiplex.
It's going to be a really, really nice venue, like much nicer than we normally would get.
Nicer
for
Nationals, man.
Yeah, nicer than Nationals probably. Yeah, like it's going to be really, really. For anybody who's been to Winkler, we all were imagining that spot in the parking lot with the bleachers, the trees behind it. That's kind of what I was. That's what I was imagining.
Yeah.
But they hit us up and they were like, "Hey, we'd really like to have you guys on this. We had something canceled on the inside. We'd like to have something in there, and we think that you guys would be a good fit for it." And it's going to make for a nice, easy day of competition.
Well, it'll be climate controlled.
Yeah. So it'll feel nice at least.
To all the competitors, respect the environment. We're indoors.
Yes.
Let's make good impressions to have us back again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we're really excited about that one. It's going to be. It might seem obvious because that's the one that people pay attention to the most, but the men's open is going to be a really competitive division.
Yes.
I'm really excited. I think that
so are the U120. Those are
the 120. I was
That's our biggest division.
Yes, I was upset to see that Mark Schramm had to pull out. He has a shoulder injury.
Oh, he's out.
Yeah, he would have been one of my guys
Oh shit.
I think him and Deloli and Tyler Prince are all three guys who would really be given a run for that top spot in that one.
I'm just gonna update that here so we don't get it's the score sheet.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So the 120 is gonna be exciting. The men's open with Brian, Jeremy, Bushi,
Langelaar.
Langelaar.
That's it.
Is that the four of them?
Yeah, 4.
Well, shit. That's gonna be. I mean, that's gonna be a fucking tight
That's a
race.
shit division to be in.
That's gonna be a tight race.
That's what I mean. Like, it's gonna be back and forth.
Right now. Who? Give me the podium for that one.
No.
Give me the top two.
I got in trouble for that.
Top
last
two.
time.
Top two.
Top. Oh man. No.
I'll do it. I'm not scared.
It's gonna depend how recovered Andrew is from this weekend.
Yeah.
That'll really play into.
That'll matter. Yeah.
That'll be his heaviest show.
Yeah.
It was disgusting.
Yeah.
So that's gonna really affect it.
Sure.
I don't know. I mean, Jeremy did really well at the last show and won that.
Yeah.
In Vita.
Yep.
So it depends on the events.
I know
the events, but
here's my pick. Just going based on numbers, is that I think that if we're looking at the press, we have the Viking press.
Yeah.
Andrew takes that one. He will hit.
I believe that.
He will hit more than what he got at the Magnus, because the Magnus is considerably heavier.
Yeah, which is nice because he was prepping and getting the same events.
Yes, and I think that some of the guys would be, because he hit 3, I think, at the Magnus. I think some guys would be hoping to get 3 at this.
I would have Andrew winning this show.
Yeah, I think that I have Jeremy winning it.
Yeah,
and that's and I'm biased, obviously, but so the press I would give to him. The deadlift, I think I'd also give that one to Andrew, but I think that it could be narrow because it's a weird height. It's axle. It's not like it's for reps.
Yeah.
So although he's a very good deadlifter, there's a lot of variables that make it so it's not just a straight up deadlift. Obviously, I'm out of order here, but the Conan's wheel, I think that Jeremy has a good chance of taking that one. Andrew's good at the moving stuff. Still needs practice.
Okay.
The frame, I think that Jeremy edges him out a little bit on the grip.
Yeah.
It's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
So I think
very heavy.
Yeah. So I think that Jeremy could come out on that one, and then help me. What's the
sandbag to shoulder?
Sorry, wait. So it's press, deadlift, sandbag to shoulder, Conan's wheel. Yeah. So I think that there's potentially 3 events that he could take him on there. Now that doesn't account for the fact there's 2 other guys in there that could be splitting up points and changing things.
I would have Brian winning the frame.
That seems entirely possible.
Because he's fast.
Yes.
He's fast.
He's got a good grip too.
Very good grip.
Yeah.
And long hands.
He's got that working
hands,
grip. Yeah.
And Viking, I have Andrew winning that. I would have Brian second or third in that. That's going to vary on how he feels that day.
Yeah.
Axle deadlift. No. So Brian's well over 700 deadlift rate in the gym.
Right.
Like when we're doing reps, he's over 700. So that'll really be well.
And I don't want to write off Bushi either.
Yeah. Bushi, I haven't seen Bushi.
I just don't know what he's been doing.
I haven't seen him. I don't know what he's doing lately or what, because I haven't seen him much in the gym. He comes at a different time,
right?
So I haven't seen any of his trains. So I feel bad
saying
I don't know what he's doing.
But that's all we can go by is what we see, right?
I don't coach him. Yeah. I coach Brian.
Yeah.
You coach Jeremy.
We just see Langelaar enough. Yeah.
Because he comes out and hangs out with all of us.
Right. Bushi is a dark horse in that one for sure. We can only go by what we see.
Yeah.
And what we see posted and stuff, which is not very much.
Yeah.
He's had a good couple runs these last couple shows. Like he's showing that his back injury doesn't seem to be a problem anymore for him.
I think on See, I'm biased too because I think Brian can win the frame and the Conans. Just on grit.
I think that he could too.
Yeah.
I don't think it's crazy.
Press, I don't have him winning. He might hit me for that bet, but he knows we just going to do the best we can there.
Yeah.
Sandbag to shoulder. It's a new event for everybody.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that's going to jostle up.
That's where I think that
he's
Jeremy.
been good in the gym, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, Jeremy's got a pretty good technique with that one.
And then what else is there? Axle deadlift.
Axle deadlift, yeah.
What's our weight on that?
635.
Yeah, I think our guys. I mean, Bush is a good deadlift too. I think
Yes.
none of those guys are getting under 5-6 reps.
And Bushi pulls from a pick a lot.
Yes.
So he's going to be used to
He's
this.
had back injuries in the past.
So
I don't think any of our open guys are getting under 5 reps.
no, I don't think so. I don't.
No.
I think they'd have to be
I think
shooting for that.
I think Winner is going to pull Summers around 8 to 12 reps.
That high?
I believe it.
I think I put 6 to 8 on that one.
Yeah?
Yeah. We'll have to see.
We'll see.
It's going to be a great
And then
show.
what's the last rep? Why am I forgetting it? Conan's frame, sandbag to shoulder, Viking.
Yeah.
And deadlift.
Yeah. No, that's all of them. I think that the frame will shake things up a little bit, and I think the sandbag. It's gonna be boiled down to I think we'll see a very direct correlation between who does the best and who's practiced it the most.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of guys haven't practiced it all that much.
Yeah.
So we're gonna find out, and we're gonna see, and it's gonna be like I said, like this is provincials. It's an important show here to kind of dictate who's, especially when we're talking about that men's open division, who's gonna be the next big dog.
I got to pay the sanction fee. I should
Get on that.
put that in my phone here to do tonight.
But we're looking for that guy who's still going to fill the spot that sort of Dan left on the amateur scene where he was dominating and he was crushing shows.
Yeah.
And it looks like it would be Langelar, maybe Jeremy.
But
we're gonna find out.
I'm gonna, and people might hate me for saying this, but like Dan was dominant to who he was against.
Yeah.
It's not now we got 3 or 4 guys in the top.
Yeah.
Who are
like
if you think of when Dan was competing, where his numbers were. All our top 3 heavyweights now are all those numbers.
Yeah,
like
pretty
for
close,
deadlift, for squat, for press might be a little. But they're all right there.
Press is one thing that
besides circus dumbbell.
That he's still, but in general, like he's got a real good overhead right now. But I would agree that on a lot of the stuff, it's getting pretty close.
Yeah. So like it's it would have been fun to see the open vision we have now 2 years ago.
Sure.
And take back that because you were pro ready 2 years before that.
22, I got mine.
So it would have been. I mean, the open division we have now is our best open division we've had. Because when you were there, we didn't have much.
No.
You were dominant compared to anybody else.
Yeah.
So it wasn't much. Dan was there. Bush would hang with him on a lot of the events, but then there was a gap there. You had guys like
in his game,
Travis Kloss, who was up from U120 open, then back down, and he's in and out of training. Jeremy was like a 105 guy.
Jeremy was just a baby.
Yeah, he was like still breastfeeding.
He was.
Brian wasn't in the sport yet. Langley wasn't in the sport yet. We had other open guys that I'm forgetting, and they're going to get mad at me. But it's cool to see your open division.
Yep,
right now.
I totally agree. We're seeing a really exciting growth in the sport here, and the women's division is I don't mean by any means to leave them out of this because they're. Our women's masters division is like a nice,
our masters is pretty
burgeoning
wild.
sport again, or burgeoning division again. The women's open is looking good. We're seeing the lighter categories starting to get filled out a little bit.
Well, last year our U80 and 9 divisions were our biggest divisions.
Yeah,
we got 1 in each now.
This one, I'm not the best of a turnout for those ones.
For men.
Oh, for men. Sorry, I was thinking the 73, 82 was kind of the same problem.
Last year it was no woman.
Yeah,
we had so much men in those lighter divisions. Now besides.
The 90 was packed last year.
Dude, it was nuts. And now we got 1 and 1 in 80.
Yeah.
And then you go to the women's divisions, and those are packing out.
Yeah.
Which is nice to see.
We finally have a second U64 for Mama to compete against, which is nice. The teens division will be there. We have 3 teen boys, 1 teen girl. That's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a really great competition. So I hope that people consider coming out. I know Winkler's a little bit of a hike from Winnipeg, but come check it out.
They got rides midway. They've got concerts.
It's make a whole day out of it. Yeah,
festival.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then for anybody who's heading Winnipeg or north, we are going to be heading to Bar Italia afterwards for the after party. They're our sponsored after party. They always take good care of us. They really are part of what makes these shows happen is their involvement. So thank you to Bar I for that.
And speaking of teams, Bosco signed up for OSG.
Oh, I see. Yes. We have another Manitoban going to OSG.
So they were
Bosco
giving free
Penner.
entry to kids.
Yes.
Teens. I messaged her.
Which is so cool.
I'm like, Jeremy, we're all going. So, and speaking of that, we got to bring up Crystal on the Bemer.
Absolutely. You hit that, and I'm going to pull the Deadlift Dreams thing.
Yeah, pull up Deadlift Dreams. One of our other sponsors, we had Jeremy Wiens, and we also got Crystal Penner with Bemer, Manitoba. I've been seeing she's been posting a lot. And we've got some feedback, a couple of our listeners from across the world, because we're worldwide.
Absolutely.
At least our ego is.
Yeah.
Well, Tyler has just won an international show, even though it was around here.
I'm a superstar.
Yeah, now he's a superstar. Hit her up, guys, for the Bemer. Like I said, I've used it. She used it at competitions on people to help them recover between events, and it actually makes a big difference on just little, as Tom would say, niggles. Niggles?
He says it, not me.
Yeah, I actually like those weird terms that come out of the East there.
Those British terms.
The West, depends where you get around there.
Yeah.
But make sure you hit her up. Bemer Manitoba produces, or it helps with microcirculation in the body, increasing circulation by up to 30%. Helps you heal injuries. I mean, more blood flow, more nutrients, more healing.
There you go.
It is just science.
Simple as that.
And I'm all about science.
There's one thing Devin's about, it's the science.
Yeah, I follow it.
So make sure you give her a follow. Make sure you drop her a line, say that Strong and Petty sent you.
Yes.
And consider giving it a try. If it's something that if it's one of those things where you're like, I've been trying a lot of shit and I can't seem to get what I need out of it, give it a shot.
Yep.
And tell them we sent you. Yep. So for Deadlift for Dreams,
I had a meeting actually at 11:30 with Deadlift with Dream Factory.
Tremendous.
Today, yeah.
We're gonna be doing the news here again pretty soon.
Yeah.
In August, we'll be having the morning show. I think it was CTV, the morning show coming in here. So we're now at 32% of the goal. We're $3 shy of $19,700. $19,700 raised for Manitoba families, just through a bunch of meatheads lifting weights in Devin's gym.
Now I got to call the competitors. There's 50 people signed up.
Yeah.
All right. You need to raise $250
Yes.
to pay for your T-shirts and what like that. You have to reach out to get your T-shirt.
Right.
38 people who have signed up have not raised $250.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, I know that I happen to be one of those 38, but shout out to Jeff Hampson, one of my clients, who has made a deal with me that he couldn't make it. He wanted to do Deadlift for Dreams. He couldn't make it. He has to go to the Banjo Bowl. But he is going to, instead, he's going to come through in a big way. We are training deadlifts with him for the first time in his life. He's never really been a gym guy before. Yep. And for every pound that I can get him to on a max deadlift, he'll donate $1 to my thing. So
I hope he pulls 1,000.
So I hope he pulls 1,000 too. Right now we pulled on Monday he pulled 350.
Can I bring fake weights?
Absolutely, of course you can. That'd be lovely. So I have $350 that I'm counting my chickens before they hatch. I haven't gotten it yet, but I will have it. So
we're trying to reach 60 grand. We're 40 grand short.
Well, if everybody, so we have 38 people. If everyone raises $100 or $200, $250,
that's $8 grand.
That's a pretty good chunk of it.
$9 grand. It gets there, and then
that's the minimum.
That's the minimum.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everybody, this is a really great opportunity where you send it to your mom. You send it to your auntie,
Anybody.
and they share it on Facebook.
Yeah.
They say, "Oh, little Junior is doing a deadlift thing for charity, and they could really use a little bit of help." And then you're going to start seeing your aunts and your uncles and your friends and your parents' friends and your parents' cousins. They're going to. I mean, that's at least how it works with my family.
Yeah.
They're going to start dropping in $50 here, $50 there.
Yeah. $20, $10, $25. Doesn't matter.
Before you know it, you've hit the goal and it's done.
Yeah.
It's just not something you have to think about anymore. So shout out to Deadlift for Dreams. And on November 9th, we have Iron Claw, the first ever Manitoba grip sport event being held right here at Iron Age, being hosted and refereed by national grip champion James Jeffers, one of the best grip guys going right now in Canada. He's going to come out and lend us a hand with that. No pun intended. Show us how to make that whole thing work. We still haven't put the official thing out yet. I'm still dealing with the sanctioning and all that stuff. But at the end of November, we're going to be having a WRPF push-pull meet, also right here in Iron Age.
Yeah. That'll be looking like last week. Well, in between that,
in between that, though, yes.
Nathan Payton seminar.
November
seminar
16th.
That's a busy. The 9th, the 16th, Nathan Payton seminar, Training Grounds Gym, nutrition seminar.
Yep.
Just got the new poster finished up.
Yep.
And then you're going to leave immediately after that for Iceland.
Pretty much, yep. I'm heading to Iceland after that.
And then you're going to come back right into the WRPF.
No, Thrones will be running the WR. I'll be gone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be that weekend.
Yeah.
Oh,
shit. So Thrones will be helping me out with that and taking care of it because that's just the kind of guy that he is. So I'm very excited to be hearing about that when I'm gone. And one more thing I want to mention too is we are on the August the 18th. We're starting right here at Iron Age, a 12-week, once a week, Sundays at 11 a.m., 2 hours, Olympic lifting program geared towards strongman.
Yep.
With, bar none, the best Olympic lifting coach in Manitoba, probably one of the best ones in Western Canada, Terry Hadlow.
Yeah.
So if you're not familiar with his name, he was an Olympian. He went to the Olympics in the 80s. He's been a coach for Team Manitoba forever.
Yeah.
He's a very high-level coach. He's very sought after in Olympic lifting. And he, honestly, surprisingly to me, agreed to my request to come down here and teach some strongmen how to do a little bit of Olympic lifting and specifically show us things that will carry over into our strongman stuff.
If you are a competitor in Manitoba, around the area, now not the guys from Brandon, this obviously won't work, but
Sure.
if you are in or around Winnipeg, that is, I remember McDowell brought that in years ago for us.
Yes.
And it was right when I tore my shoulder, so I couldn't do shit.
Yeah.
But man, the little bit I did learn, I was like,
Yeah.
this is ridiculous.
It's gonna be it's if you feel like your overhead technique is lacking, or if you feel like you're just like for me personally, and I know this, I said this to say like Deloli and stuff too, where it's like we're at an age where we haven't hit our ceilings. That's just not the case. But wouldn't it be nice to extend that ceiling a little higher?
Are you doing it yourself?
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing it.
Good, because your log clean is slow as shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I gotta get that explosiveness up there. But if you can increase that ceiling with just technique, if you can get your numbers up without having to get any stronger, wouldn't that be just?
It's a cheat code.
Wouldn't that be great?
It really is. Strength can only grow so much.
Yeah.
Per month or per week, or there's only so much you can do. You add on drugs, you add on whatever. You're only going to put on so much.
Yeah.
But if your technique is dog shit and you can change that,
Yep.
you can put 10, 20, 30% on your lift just on technique alone.
And then and you see guys like say, our boy Lucas Hatton.
Yeah.
When you watch his axle clean and press, there's a lot of Olympic influence in that. When you watch he's doing these split jerks, he's doing this stuff, like he's a very Olympic lifting influenced athlete, and that's helping him to be awesome. So that's something that we're going to try to implement here a little bit.
What's the price in that?
So this guy, he's, like I said, he's one of the fucking best coaches in the province. He's doing $30 per person for the session for 2 hours. $30
every week.
Every week.
Okay.
So it's
$15 an hour. That's cheap.
Yeah. So it's $360 for the whole thing. If money's tight, if $360 is a lot for you to drop at once, I am offering to people that will do $180 and $180 on weeks 1 and week 6.
Yeah. Good for you.
And that's on the commitment that you're going to do both the things. That's me putting my neck out there because I got to pay him if you don't show up.
Yeah.
So, but if anybody's interested from any gym anywhere, I encourage you to do this.
Yep.
It's going to be a really great opportunity to get better at strongman.
On that note,
you got anything more?
Nope.
Okay, lots of information.
See you this weekend.
See you guys in Winkler.
See you later today.
See you later on today. Yep, I'll see you at 1 p.m. at the Winkler multiplex thing. See ya.